Women, where do you find good men?
Here's why I think dating is so difficult these days. We are the first generation that is technically advanced.
In China, if you're a woman, single, and over 30, you are called 剩女, which means leftover woman in Mandarin.
I have a question. Where are all the good men at?
I swear you guys romanticize being a woman that's been hurt and then finally getting a good man.
You know what I just realized about relationships? A guy starts off by putting 100% in the beginning of a relationship. And over time, that will slowly go down from like 100 to 95 to 90 to 80 to 85.
I think for me, the hardest part about dating again is...
All we ask of you is to subscribe. Your support greatly aids our growth.
You know what I just realized about relationships? A guy starts off by putting 100% in the beginning of a relationship. And over time, that will slowly go down from like 100 to 95 to 90 to 80 to 85. And then you notice, and you only notice when it goes down to like 75 or 80%, and then you say something. And then when you say something, he puts back 5% effort and you're content. You're like, okay, he put in some effort, but it never goes back up to 100 or 90 or 95. It just goes from like that 75 to 80. And then it goes back down again to like 70. And then it goes down to 60. Long story short, it'll just go back down to 10%. When it started at 100, I'm not saying all men do this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as a woman, I feel like we invest more time and put in more effort as the relationship goes on because it becomes more and more serious. Moral of the story, if you're dating a guy and he starts off at 100% effort and you're noticing over time it's slowly going down, I just think that you deserve better.
Yeah, the guy deserves better as well. The reason why it decreases is because he starts to notice you're not reciprocating. He starts to notice you're not bringing in what he's bringing in the relationship. Once that man realizes that woman is giving way less, he starts to dial back. So, in that regard, he deserves better as well.
I know what some of you may be thinking. Evie, why are you posting this on your friends only? Well, because I think it relates to some of you too, because I know you do it as well. But I just want to put this out there. Don't date people on your followers lists. They're just gonna break your heart.
I'm 31. I'm actively, desperately trying to find my person. I have no shame in admitting this. I know a lot of people try to act all calm, cool, and collected about this shit, but not me. I'm not that person. Because if you were honest with yourself about the options out here, you would also be nervous. And like, here's the thing. We all saw me on the show talk about how I felt pressure as a 31-year-old and everyone lost their shit. But like, I'm struggling for a man to even commit to a date out here, let alone marriage. So I'm not hopeful.
One thing I've come to notice is that every woman who says I'm trying to find my person is a red flag. And if you heard her, she said she was desperately searching for a man. These types of women always go for the nice guy once they're in their 30s. They're honestly just looking for someone to support their lifestyle.
I'm starting a revolution where we don't find our significant other on dating apps.
All right, girls, summer's here, dating apps are out. Here are some places that you can meet men in the wild. First up, we've got car shows, okay? We all know that guys like their toys, so great place to go. Then we've got conferences and networking events. Go to a tech conference and I promise you, it won't look like much from the outside, but get to talking to the men and they are some of the top elite men you'll ever meet. And then of course, happy hours, financial district, great choice. Food festivals are also a very good choice. And of course, we've got gyms, but I think it depends on which gym you go to and what time of day you go to. But gyms are always right. And last, go to parks, dog parks, hiking, golf courses, anywhere where there's greenery, go. And if you need some tips on how to make conversations with the men that you meet in these areas, I have a bunch of examples in my dating tip ebook, link in my bio.
Why is dating so hard?
Because guys, guys, you know, dating's hard because women just don't know how to date these days.
And that's true. Okay, so what can women do better?
I'm kidding. That was a joke.
So why is dating hard?
Dating is hard because I think we have too many options these days.
And that's true.
I think he wants to be on the show. Oh, you want some good content. Okay. Okay, I'll tell you something that I don't really understand is why guys on dating apps use photos that are 7 years old.
The same reason I'd say women use photos of them weighing less.
Wearing less?
Weighing less.
Weighing less. Got it. So are there a lot of women you're meeting in real life off the apps that are weighing more than what they look like in their photos?
Essentially, sometimes, yeah.
Yo, that's fucked up.
No, she was not kidding. She actually spoke the truth. Dating is hard because social media has given these women endless options. They can just jump to the next dude whenever something is going wrong in their relationship. Or it can be because women are too picky about the man that they date. He's got to meet all of these crazy standards for him to be able to date her. In other words, they're looking for the perfect partner that only exists in their imagination. Some of these women's standards actually keep them single. Then they reach 40, and their standard starts to decrease.
In China, if you're a woman, single, and over 30, you are called 剩女, which means leftover woman in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you are called 老底橙, 賣剩蔗, and 攝做辣, which means orange at the bottom of the basket, the sugar cane that didn't get sold, and the thing used for filling the gap of the stove. But if you're a man, single, and over 30, you are called 钻石王老五, which means a diamond bachelor in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you are called 笋盤, which means quality real estate.
I used to meet guys everywhere. Although I was living in cities at the time, I was living in New York and London, which I do think helped a lot. But here are a few places that I would find that I would meet the most amount of men. One is definitely luxury gyms, or really any gym in general. I just was a part of Equinox, and I met so many guys there. I also work remotely, so I would bring my laptop to like a hotel lobby and do work there. That was a big place. Also coffee shops, co-working spaces, WeWorks. I also did this thing where anything that I liked to do in general, I would find a way to do it more socially. So like, for example, I love music, so I'd always go to concerts. I love art, so I would always take art classes. I love spirituality, so I would just go to like spiritual events that were happening in the city. And I would just meet more people. Even if I didn't meet men every time, sometimes I would meet girls and we'd get talking and they would introduce me to someone. Setups were really big for me. Like I went on so many blind dates, setup dates, people would introduce me to people. That would be a big way I would meet someone. I also met a lot of guys on like public transport, which is kind of cringy, but I was in New York and London at the time, so I don't know. Everyone just took like the subway and the tube, so I would meet a lot of guys there. Where else? Airport lounges, brunch. I'd meet a lot of guys at brunch. Oh, and museums. I love museums, and I met a lot of really nice guys at museums. So it's not always about just like meeting more men, it's just about getting yourself out there into the world, and you're just going to meet more people in general, which is going to allow you to meet so many men.
These women aren't able to meet men because they have retreated. They have had enough of dating. They have had enough of being used and get taken advantage of. Men are realizing that they gain nothing for their efforts. Whatever they do is never appreciated. They're more focused on bettering themselves and traveling overseas. Dating in the West is just pure chaos for them.
With me, what is the real reason why dating is so hard these days?
I'm glad you asked. So here are my top 5 reasons why, in my opinion. First of all, COVID, obviously. Second, hookup culture. I don't know why people think it's cool to have a high body count. In my opinion, I think that's kind of gross. Third, normalizing toxic relationships. I don't know why some people think it's okay to be in a relationship where you're constantly hurting yourself or your partner, or if you're trying to catch your partner's attention or make them jealous. Like, that's not how a relationship should be. You should be able to do whatever you want with the support of your partner, and you should be helping each other grow. Fourth, some people don't take their time to heal. Like, I feel like nowadays, so many people are so quick to jump from relationship to relationship without even taking their time to reflect and heal their past traumas. And last, genuine and loyal people are super rare nowadays.
All valid reasons. Hookup culture wouldn't be a thing if some of these women valued themselves and knew how to keep their legs closed. Toxic relationships are for people who are already damaged themselves, so they project their pain onto others to join them in their misery. Going down this road will only lead to more suffering. It will only get worse from now on.